You are tuned in to On Air with Chris Shanafelt.
Welcome back to another edition of our 2019 NFL Draft Prospect interview segment here on air with Chris Shanafelt. And this morning we are going out to Middle Tennessee State University, where we can find the Blue Raiders' first-team all-conference linebacker, Darius Harris. And Darius, really appreciate you hopping on the show this morning. Can you believe that your collegiate football career has come to an end, and here you are now preparing to take on the next level?
No, sir. It feels like just yesterday I was coming up as a freshman, not knowing what to expect, just getting used to everything. So the time it went by fast.
Absolutely, and here we are now, 5 years later, including that redshirt year of yours, and you're gearing up for the NFL, trying to make this thing your daytime job now. And before we talk about your time at Middle Tennessee State, I just want to bring you back, looking back, Darius, at your high school days. You played quarterback and defensive back. What was the recruiting phase like for you back then? How did you ultimately land at Middle Tennessee State University, and where did the idea of playing linebacker come about?
Well, the whole recruiting thing, I didn't have a lot of buzz coming out of high school, saying how high school wasn't very known for football, and then we wasn't a major program, and we wasn't really winning any games. So, just trying to get out there and get recruited, it was kind of a slow start, and a couple of schools came up like Middle Tennessee and, a lot of JUCOs around the area. I wasn't highly recruited. So, MT was, really one of the first schools that offered me, and, it just felt like home when I chose it. And just playing linebacker, I have no idea. I was a big safety, I guess, and my coach kind of told me when I was going to the camps, like, hey, you might want to work out at linebacker too, saying how you're big now and you want to put on more weight, and it's just more than likely that when you get to the next level, you're going to play linebacker. So I just got myself ready for that position, and it was a good transition. I say it worked out for the best.
It certainly did. Looking at the career that you're able to have. You redshirted your first year in 2014, and then from there you would go on and play in every game over the next 4 years. 53 games you have under your belt, which is a Blue Raider record. With football being such a violent game, injuries happen all the time. We've seen last night Allen Hurns, wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, just a horrific ankle injury. And it kind of puts it into perspective. It can literally happen anytime you're on the field.
Right.
And they say that availability is the best ability. You've certainly had that over the years, Darius. How were you able to, come game day, I'm sure your body was sore many times. I'm sure you've battled some nagging injuries here and there. How were you able to make sure come game day that you're ready to throw on your pads? And again, availability is the best ability. You've had that over the years. How were you able to make
One, I just feel like I was blessed not to suffer any major injuries, as you said, Allen Hurns last night. Just being in good, not always feeling the best, but our trainers at Middle Tennessee State do a good job of just rehabbing me and just getting my body right whenever I have nicks and bruises, so that I'm able to play at my full potential. And just being lucky and blessed to not have any major injuries that keep me out.
Again, we're chatting with Darius Harris, the linebacker at Middle Tennessee State University, 2019 NFL Draft Prospect. And Darius, you ended your junior season as the Bart Starr MVP in the Camellia Bowl, as you had 10 tackles, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble in the Middle Tennessee State 35-30 victory over Arkansas State. Heading into your senior season, what were your expectations? And looking back, were you able to achieve any of those goals that you had set?
Oh, yes. Just going into my senior season, I wanted to build off what I accomplished in the bowl game, and that's just going forward, just to continue to be a better player day by day, and just getting the recognition that even though we're a smaller school, that it's still good players that come out of there. And I just wanted to just add on to my career, just have a good season as a team. And I said we did. I accomplished some things, making it to the Conference USA Championship and making it to a bowl game. Even though we lost, it was still a good experience and just something, a brotherhood, that we all can enjoy and look back over the years and see what we accomplished. And just as an overall I feel like headed to that senior year, I was more determined and had something to prove. Saying how I had a lot of, because that junior year it gave a lot of recognition to me, and I just wanted to go out there and just continue to dominate.
And dominate is exactly what you did. You finished your senior season with 96 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, and a forced fumble. You're named first team All-Conference USA, certainly a great way to top off your collegiate career. Would you say that right there was one of your goals, being named first team All-Conference? I mean, it seems like you're kind of playing at that level, like you said, back in your junior year. Didn't get that recognition, but here you are now, senior year. You're able to get that accolade. Did that mean anything to you?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, because at the end of my junior year, I remember seeing and looking over the list and seeing how I wasn't on any of the out-of-conference team. And, I mean, it just put a chip on my shoulder to play even harder this year and to go out there and get on the first all-conference team my senior year. And when I accomplished that, it was a good feeling. I know that I put the work in, the time in, and it was just something I told myself at the end of the junior year that I won't be left out of that.
Again, we're chatting with 2019 NFL Draft prospect linebacker Darius Harris out of Middle Tennessee State University. And looking now, Darius, I see on your latest bio on the MTSU website you are listed at 38. Is that accurate? If not, can you please update us on what your current height and weight is today?
Well, I say the height. I say I'm more 6'3". 238. Yeah, that's about right. I'm around that area. Yes, it is.
Now this is the question I should have asked you beforehand, but looking at your time at MTSU, again, here you are now gearing up with the possibility to play at the next level. Let's say if Coach Stockstill or Coach Schaefer, your defense coordinator, or somebody asked you to sell the program to a recruit. They're really trying to land this linebacker coming out of a local high school, let's say a 3.5, 4-star recruit. They really want him, and they want you to call this kid and sell the program. How would you go about doing it?
Well, first, I would tell them that just MTSU, you can accomplish your goals on and off the field. Coach Stockstill do a good job of not just implementing the football side of it and pushing guys to play at the next level, but he also have you ready for the real world. And just your 4 or 5 years at MT, just maturing as a football player and as a man, so that you're ready for whatever life after college, whether that's be getting a real job or whether that's be playing at the next level. And just you're gonna, when you come to MT, you're gonna graduate. That's the number one thing that you're gonna graduate. That's one thing that I've seen that over my past 5 years, pretty much every senior class, either by the time they leave or the spring after the season, they are graduating, and that's just a good thing to let the people let kids know that football can end at any moment, and even when you are fortunate enough to play 8 to 10 years in the NFL level, you still have life after football, and that's when you still have to, it's still something. Life still goes on, so you have to know something other than football, and I feel like that's a good thing that they do right there at Middle Tennessee State, just having you ready for life after football, and just having you ready mentally for when you get out of college.
Yeah, well said, and seeing guys like yourself, obviously, and it's not going to happen to every recruit or every college player. We all know it's just 1% that go on to play professionally, but seeing guys like yourself or seeing somebody who is already there, like a Kevin Byard for the Tennessee Titans, arguably the top safety in the NFL, I got to think that carries some weight with the university. And, I'm sure a lot of these high school kids coming into universities, they all think that they're going to be the number one pick in the NFL draft. So certainly seeing that success from some of the alumni, I got to think certainly helps the program out in its own right as well. Now, Darius, I know that the NFL has probably always been a dream, but when did it hit you that you had a legit chance at turning this dream into a reality?
I'll say as I got in college, I wouldn't say just as the years went on and just as I just realized and just playing the game, just getting better each year, and just having, like coaches telling me that, that I need to take it serious as a freshman, because I got a chance to do something that a lot of people haven't done. And I mean, just some of the coaches telling me throughout the my collegiate career that, hey, you got a chance to do something special. You have a chance to play at the next level, and saying how that's something that I always want to do, and just not knowing that if it's gonna come true or not, I'm gonna work regardless of it, and just keep on working, and as it went along, the hard work paid off, and it's just just getting scouts and things like that, asking about you and just things like that, and you realize, like, oh, I got a chance to do something special, and that's when it just hits you, like, okay, I know that I have a chance, so let's really get after it.
And playing in the Conference USA, or I know over the last couple of years, you guys normally play at least one, maybe two SEC teams over the past couple of years. Who would you say is the best player that you've lined up against? Is there a specific player that comes to mind over the past 4 years that that comes to mind when you think about the best player you've faced?
Oh yeah, we faced, like you said, over my years we always play a SEC team, and this year we actually played 3, and the running back from Georgia, Holyfield. He was a real good back. Him and Swift, they were real good back. And then at a SEC level, you want to compare your skills at playing at one of the highest level in college football. So I mean, just those back as a their running back tandem was a pretty good group. Just with all the talent, just strength, size, speed, and that was a good building block just to see, like, okay, just the best of the best. And saying how, some teams might look at, like, hey, Conference USA is at a lower level. So it just gives you a good thing to let's compete with these guys and see how you match up with them.
A couple of times you've mentioned how, people will kind of talk, not really talk down, but they say, Middle Tennessee or Conference USA, it's, small school or not the greatest conference. Is that something, does that kind of add like a chip on your shoulder? Seeing as you might have that small school label attached to entering the 2019 NFL draft, or when looking at weaknesses, they'll really try and pick and prod, and they'll add in the played against lower level competition on your scouting report. Is that something that will add a chip on your shoulder as you prepare for the NFL draft?
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's just you hear. I mean, you don't pay no mind to it, but at the end of the day, that some go about like, hey, he played at this school compared to another guy who might have played at a Power 5 school and all the better competition, this and that. Even though just what film says, oh, he did this against a lower tier school compared to this guy. So I mean, yeah, it is put a chip on my shoulder, just add more motivation to prove that I'm a good player overall on any level.
Again, he's 2019 NFL draft prospect Darius Harris out of Middle Tennessee State University here on air with Chris Shanafelt. A few more questions, then we'll let you go, Darius. Really do appreciate your time. You mentioned it this past year. You guys played 3 SEC squads, again, playing in the Conference USA alone. If you had to go back and choose just one game out of your collegiate career for a scout to go back and watch, what 1 or 2 games would you suggest?
I would suggest the Kentucky game this year, and the Vanderbilt game.
Any specific reason why?
Yes, the Vanderbilt game, it was the first game of the year against the SEC team. I did some good things on that. Also, it was some things that I could have worked on. And as far as the Kentucky game that was the second to last game of the year. So I feel like that game, I had a pretty good game against one of the top running backs and one of the top teams in the country. And just to see that improvement from the first game all the way to the second to last game of the year, just to see the progress that I made from moving from outside back and the inside back, and just the step that I took each week all the way to the end of the season, and just getting better with my technique, fundamental, and tackling.
Yeah, I was trying to look up some highlights or some game tape on you preparing for this interview, and actually on YouTube, they do have cut-ups of your game against Vanderbilt. week one this year, and a lot of fun to watch. And which leads me to my next question: when people are watching your tape, I mean, what are some things that you feel really stand out about your game when watching yourself? I mean, what would you say are your strengths, and if you had to pick out one weakness, something you'd like to work on over the next few months, what would that be as well?
Yes, I would say just when they see my film, you know, he's an athletic guy, fast to the ball, and well at diagnose, recognize the plays. So speed, athletic, and a rangy guy, sideline to sideline guy. And my weakness, I'd probably say just doing better, getting off blocks better. You know, not to say I had trouble with it, but just sometimes just fundamentals, just getting wrong, taking a blocker on, and just kind of, you know, missing out on a play or missing out on a, you know, making a play. You know, it's all about inches. So maybe just being one step faster this way. If I would have did this correctly on taking on the block.
You know, this is a direct quote that I got from one of your coaches, Steve Ellis. He says, this is the linebacker this year, Darius Harris. He's going to climb during the draft. If he gets a combine invite, he's going to wreck shop. Obviously, the combine invite thing, that's still up in the air. Hopefully you get an invite, but even if you don't, you will have a pro day. What are some of the numbers you're expecting to put up? I mean, do you have any expectations for your pro day? Any expected time for the 40-yard dash, and any expected reps in the 225-pound bench press, anything like that?
Yes, sir. You know, just getting out here training and things like that. I plan on being ready for the pro day or to come out, whichever one, and just putting up good numbers. You know, hopefully to get a 4.5 in the 40, somewhere between 15 to 20 reps on a 225. You know, just with good training and, you know, just being locked in for these next couple of months, getting ready for that. I feel like I'll be able to put up good numbers all around.
And I'm glad you actually gave us a couple numbers. 4 or 5 in the 40 is what you're shooting for. 15, 20 reps of 225 in the bench press. There's a lot of guys that shy away from that. That they'll go, you know, we'll see what we do come that day. But I appreciate you actually giving us some numbers there. And we're going to have to look back and see how you did here in a couple months. Since your season has been over, I mean, what's your schedule been looking like? Have you found an agent? Where are you going to be training at for the pro day, for the combine? Any all-star invites? Can you give us an update on all that?
Oh, yes. Since the end of the season, it feels like, it's still been nonstop, even with the season being over, just doing the whole agent process, trying to find the right agent to represent me and training and all that things. But I've found an agent. I signed with Kevin Connor with Universal Sports Management, him and Robert Morris, and I'm actually in Frisco. I'm going to be training at Exos down here, getting ready for the combine or the pro day.
Nice. Definitely one of the best facilities out there to get ready. Obviously, the list of guys that they have in the NFL, it's certainly up there with the other facilities or top facilities out there. Let's see, a couple more questions for you, then we'll let you go, Darius. And also, my bad, I forgot to mention, I will be playing the NFL PA Bowl January 19th. Nice. I got invited to there, yes, sir. What was your reaction when you got invited to that? I mean, it's one of the top college football all-star games. You're going to be in sunny Los Angeles, California. You're going to rub some elbows with some of the best in the nation, learning from guys that have been there, done that. A lot of former NFL players coaching and being around that game. I mean, I got to think you were pretty excited when you got the news that you were invited to the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It was a huge accomplishment, and I was very excited to receive the invitation, just to be out there to receive some of the best coaching, some of the best tips from former players, GMs, executives, and just other players around the nation, just to be able to learn and compete with them. I feel like it's going to be a good experience for me just to learn and build off of going forward.
No doubt about it. I'm going to pull up the coaching staff here right now. I'm going to see if they have any former linebackers. I got to think that's something that you'd be very excited to see, learning from some of the again, and it's not like these are just some former NFL players that spent a little time. These are some NFL legends that you're going to be learning from. It looks like one of the linebacker coaches is Chris Claiborne for the national team, and the other linebacker coach will be DeQuell Jackson. That's a good one right there. Former Colts, former Browns linebacker. Anyways, speaking of former NFL players, is there a current or former NFL player that you've tried to kind of mold your game after? I mean, maybe take bits and pieces of their game and add it to your own?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I can't just slip it down to one because I look at, a couple linebackers around here and there just to, that I try to take bits and pieces from their game. Former player, I'd say, like Ray Lewis, just his intensity and his recognition on the field. I try to, just because that's a lot of part about playing linebacker, not just about, running and hitting. You have to have instincts and just recognition of players. I say Luke Kuechly do a good job of that too, of the modern linebacker, just with diagnosing plays before it even happens. He knows what's going on. And a guy like Telvin Smith, Deion Jones, those guys just kind of just fast linebackers, sideline to sideline, kind of athletic guys, and do a very good job of playing the linebacker position.
No doubt about it. Some of the best in the game in the past, like you said, Ray Lewis, and even today in Deion Jones and Telvin Smith. Final question for you. Let's say we have all 32 NFL general managers. They're tuned in, listening to this very interview. Why should they want the linebacker out of Middle Tennessee State University, Darius Harris, a part of their organization?
Because I'm a hard-working kid and just not only a hard-working kid on the field, but a great person off the field. And you're gonna get the best from me, the great work ethic, day in and day out. Just being a sponge, soaking up everything I can, just to be able to have success at this next level. And I'm gonna bring just a lot of passion and dedication to hard work, just to understand and learn, so I can be a good pro at this level.
Darius, really appreciate you taking some time this morning. Again, congratulations on all the success. 53 career games. That's every single game played over the past 4 seasons there at Middle Tennessee State University, a program record. Congrats on the invitation to the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl. That's big time right there. Wishing you all the best in that, and really just over the next few months as you gear up for the 2019 NFL Draft, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
There he goes, Darius Harris, linebacker out of Middle Tennessee State University, first-team All-Conference USA linebacker from this past season as he racked up 96 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, and a forced fumble. A lot of fun. Again, kind of hard to find some tape out there on him, but again, YouTube does have the first game of the season against Vanderbilt. A lot of fun to watch, and really just a great athlete. And towards the end there, he mentioned Deion Jones and Telvin Smith. You could even throw in, me being in Chicago, Roquan Smith, really quick linebacker, sideline to sideline, and I think he's going to be a guy that hears his name called at some point in the 2019 NFL Draft.